we had a good discussion in the car about, great teams and staying great. And we're talking about Makar's contract where there's agents around. They're like, he fucked the league. He took $9 million a year. That screws other defensemen. It's like, you said Sakic had a conversation with him like, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do. If you take this, we can keep these guys, right?
This is what I was told, or what I heard was the ask was obviously more than $9 million a year. And it was, you're worth every penny, but we won't be able to sign this guy and this guy and this guy. And if you can take less, we're going to make hopefully multiple runs.
In the exchange being the 5 years, I think Matthews had a very similar deal in a sense.
Yeah, it was like 5 years at, I don't know what the number, it was 11 or 12 a year, right? And I think Joe said, like, you're worth every penny, but if you can take more years and less money, and obviously the kid's a freak. I mean, he's like changing the game.
You can get $72 million, and then you're going to sign another one.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not try to make the team great? And I know, like, some people are like, what are you talking about? Like, you're ruining value for other defensemen. It's like, all right, well, as Johnny said in the car to him, he's like, that's his choice, though. He wants to be on a great team.
Yeah.
Well, Sid did it for as many years as he did. I mean,
absolutely.
Hey, I guess it's a little easier when McKinnon's basically making league minimum right now.
that one's gonna come home this summer though. Like he's got an extension coming this summer.
But honestly, with how he looks at Sid, he probably will take a little less.
Well, he's said in the past, he's like, listen, I'm not playing this for the money. Like, it's like I want to be on a winning team, and so he's gonna do what makes sense. Like, yeah, he's probably gonna cash in pretty big, but maybe they find a way to make it a little more palatable, and hopefully be able to retain some guys. I mean, they made some trades. Josh Manson is a guy that I could see them re-signing if the years are right, and maybe they're probably going to lose. Obviously, Nas has played unbelievable this year. Like, he's probably played himself out of Colorado just with how well he's played, and the number that he's probably going to get. And Nichushkin, I think, is a big one if they can re-sign him. He's a freak.
That's why this year in particular is so important, because you are going to lose some significant pieces regardless. Where I want to talk about Bednar. He seems like the most chill, awesome guy. Yeah. The guys love him. He's obviously a man rocket, so I'm sure that the female demographic on altitude is spiked.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable guy. I played Joe Sakic's golf tournament with him a couple years ago, so it was Bedsy and I in a cart, and so I got to spend good portion of the day with him, and it ended up at a bar, I think, elsewhere. And but he's like very well spoken, very well thought out about everything that he says is very well thought out. Like, you look at kind of the Kadri stuff and Berube's no comment, and like how Bedsy answered that.
Yes,
like it blew me away because it was like, well, hey, why do I have to answer every question up here? Like, I'm a hockey
taking
coach
another coach's back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, he could have gone any number of ways with that. I just think everything he says is very well thought out. I think, like, you watch him on the bench, he's never super high, never super low. Like, the most I've seen him celebrate was Helm's goal the other night, and he kind of gave like the like a shock. Like,
he's like, oh, hey, sick. We don't have to go back to St. Louis.
It was the first time I seen Prater actually celebrate. I've always noticed how both of them are just stone characters.
Every
goal. Like, even Prater gave a little pump on that.
Prater gave a little pump, and that was like, they showed the bench, and I've just focused in on those two. Like, Bedsy's like little, like, kind of surprise thing, and that's the most most emotion I've ever seen him really show. But the guys love him. Like, he's been very good. And people point to years past, whatever, like, they lost in the second round a number of years in a row, and it's like, well, yeah, John Cooper lost a number of years in a row, and now he's back-to-back Stanley Cup champion, right?
So it's funny you bring him up, because I think that Bednar had a very similar come-up where he had to win at every level.
It was quick, too, I think.
I think he won at the ECHL level. Yeah. He smoked us in the AHL. They ended up going on to win.
Well, Werenski did.
Well, yeah. At Lake Erie. But before that, where was he at? USHL? Like, where else did he come up from?
You know what? I'm not 100% sure. I know he was in the East Coast League for a bit. I think he lives in South Carolina, like outside of Charleston in the off season.
Okay. South Carolina, then he was in Springfield.
Yeah.
Then Cleveland.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so he did actually grind it a little longer.
He's grinded.
He earned it. He absolutely earned it. And he came in when Patty Waugh left. And so, like, Patty Waugh left, like, beginning of August or whatever, second week of August. And I don't know, Patty Waugh, however that played out.
You don't know the backstory?
I don't have the backstory on that.
Even if he has it,
I wish I had a backstory on it. Like, that one's been pretty quiet. But there was obviously disagreement, and they split, and so Bedsy came in. They had a 48-point season that year, and that'll test anybody. And you've got 4 weeks to really like implement what you want as a coach, and then you go through a 48-point season, and now look where they are. I mean, like, not only did he grind through the minors, but he grinded through the NHL for that entire first year.